What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have to cover some breaking news as the Guangzhou Charge have officially traded Kib to the Philadelphia Fusion in return for Fragi, and they also acquired Bischu from the LA Gladiators. And yes, I know that we've kind of known about these trades on Twitter for a while because of some leaks, but I usually like to wait until things are completely official to make an announcement video on it, so yeah, that's why I waited up until now to do this. Let's take a quick look at the announcements made by the Charge, Gladiators, and Fusion on their Twitter. So starting off with the Charge, here's what they had to say about the whole situation. Let's make it official. Please join us in welcoming the incredible Fragi and Bischu to the team. That's all they really had to say. It's pretty short, sweet, and to the point, but at least we get a cool picture of Bischu and Fragi in their new uniforms. But also, here's what they had to say about Kib leaving the team. We also want to wish the inimitable Kib all the best in his new home with the Fusion. Thanks for everything, Kib. And speaking of Kib, here's what the Fusion had to say about acquiring him. We are excited to announce the arrival of Kib, who joins our roster from the Guangzhou Charge. Make sure to drop him a follow, wish him a belated happy birthday, and welcome him to the Fusion family. Hashtag eye on the prize. The Fusion also made sure to thank Fragi for all of his hard work by saying the following. Today we say goodbye to Fragi. We thank him for representing the Philly spirit so well during the time he spent with us, and we wish him all the best with the Guangzhou Charge. They also made a cool little tribute video for him, and I highly recommend watching it because it's really good. Then finally, we have the Gladiators, and here's what they had to say about saying farewell to Bischu. It's been one hell of an adventure, Bischu. Once a Gladiator, always a Gladiator. Then they have a little article that they wrote just discussing the whole trade and how everyone's sad that he's leaving, and they also posted a little tribute video of their own, kind of like with Fragi. Okay, now that we've talked about all of the Twitter posts that were made, where do we even begin? Because there's just so much that happened here. I suppose I'll start off by talking about this from the Chargers' point of view because obviously they got the most out of all of this. In return for trading away Kib and giving what I would assume is money to the Gladiators, they were able to get both Bischu and Fragi. I personally am a really big fan of these trades for the Charge because, for one, it's not like they were really using Kib at this point anyway. They really liked what was happening with Nero, Happy, and Eileen, so he was just riding the bench at this point, and plus, I kind of felt that Kib didn't really fit in well with his teammates, but then also, I mean, you got Fragi in return. Fragi has finally been freed. I think it's really cool that Fragi's getting another chance because clearly he wasn't wanted on the Fusion anymore, but at the same time, this is a little bit of a questionable move by the Charge just because Fragi is mostly known for his Reinhardt, and since 222 is on the way, Reinhardt is not going to be played nearly as often, and he's not really that good at Winston or Orisa. If I had to take a guess as to why they got Fragi, I'm assuming that they really don't like what Rio has been doing, and I can't blame them. He's not an amazing tank. I think he's shown flashes here and there, but perhaps they believe Fragi will be a bit more consistent. The whole Bischu trade makes you think as well, because Hoppa is really good, you know? Is it really necessary to have Bischu on the team? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm really happy that he's on a new team and that he has another opportunity to play. I really love the guy to death, and I think he's a decent diva player, but Hoppa's really good too. It is very interesting. I would say that there's probably two different reasons as to why the Charge really want a Bischu. For one is maybe they think he'll be a better fit than Hoppa on their team, but two, I'm also assuming they want him for translation reasons. It really is interesting though. I've heard that most of the Charge players are really good with their English, so maybe there's like one or two players on the roster who aren't good who are starting, so they want to have Bischu translate for them. But I don't know, like maybe Rio was the problem. That's why they also got Fragi. So like if they do want to run Rio over Fragi, they can also have Bischu in for translations. But I've heard that Rio's English is pretty good. I really don't know what they're thinking here. But it doesn't really matter what their thought process was here because Bischu and Fragi, I'm guessing for some reason in their minds, are going to help out a lot. And I'm not going to question it. Instead, I'm going to embrace it and be really happy because for one, like I said before, Fragi's now a free man. He can actually play the game again. And then also, Bischu's probably going to make a return now after not playing at all in the Overwatch League this year. I was starting to feel really bad for Bischu, so I'm glad he's getting another chance now because what happened to him is just so unfortunate. Like at the beginning of the year, he got sick, so he couldn't play. Then by the time he was finally better, Void was just popping off and they didn't want to ruin the synergy they had. So yeah, Bischu was kind of just stuck on the bench at that point. Him alongside Fragi will now start the next chapter in their Overwatch League careers. Moving on to the Fusion's point of view, if I'm going to be completely honest, even though it makes me really sad to say this, trading away Fragi was probably in their best interest. Fragi was kind of just riding the bench at this point, and it was obvious that they were not going to give him any playtime whatsoever if they were playing Sato on Reinhardt over him in the GOATS meta. Whether you're a fan of it or not, it's clear that the Fusion believes Sato was their guy and that he is the answer on main tank for them. Also, even though Kib hasn't been all that impressive in the Overwatch League in the little time he's played, I believe that the Fusion getting him will be beneficial. I know that Carpe and EQO are absolutely amazing. They're one of the better DPS duos in the Overwatch League as of right now, but having extra players at this position will not hurt them at all. The only other DPS player on the team is currently in Korea, that being Snillo, of course, because he is on a two-way contract playing for Fusion University in Overwatch Contenders Korea. Also, you never know, perhaps Kib ends up being a really good fit on this team and he finds a lot of success. And as a bonus, Kib already has previous synergy with Boombox since they played in the World Cup together. I'm very interested to see how much the Fusion end up using Kib in the near future. I can't wait to watch and find out. And finally, we have to quickly discuss the Gladiators, and there really isn't all that much to talk about because nothing really happened. All they did was get rid of a player and get some money in return. Their team doesn't really change one bit, so I doubt they're going to miss Bischu at all. I know that may sound kind of harsh, but other than him being a really good teammate and just a really nice guy in general and a good leader, what else is there to miss about him? He wasn't even playing. Void's been dominating this year. He's clearly the better option. And I'm assuming that both Roar and Decay have good enough English right now, so there's no point of even having Bischu for translation reasons. And if that's the case, you might as well trade him away to a team that actually wants him, and in return, you get some money. And that's basically everything I have to say about these trades. Good luck to Fragi, Bischu, and Kib on their new teams. I can't wait to see what they can do. With that being said, that is going to wrap up this news video. What do you guys think of all of these trades? Make sure to let me know down in the comment section. Also, if you enjoyed this content, then I would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.